And the finance minister has been given an update on the measures that will be announced to mitigate the hardship being experienced in the country. He stressed that the events that we are experiencing are due to two major issues: domestic and external events. He indicated that fuel price hikes, depreciating cedi, upsurging inflation and interest rates, as well as challenges with revenue mobilization, have compounded the difficulties many of us are experiencing. He indicated also that the measures that he will announce there will not be peculiar to Ghana, because many countries have been going through these difficulties and are announcing things to bring the economy back. Let's go back to that coverage now.
Intervention for youth employment in our country. However, three things that we did not and could not predict hit us. That one, that Parliament will approve government's 2022 budget statement, appropriation and its expenditure plans, and then turn around to vote against one of the key revenue generation measures that was being introduced, the e-levy. That the unyielding stance of the minority in Parliament against the e-levy would gravely affect investor confidence in our capacity to implement our programs and settle our debts, triggering a downgrading by credit rating agencies and now leaving the cedi vulnerable as we could not access the international capital markets. Ladies and gentlemen, the third hit was the launch of the attack on Ukraine by Russia on February 24, 2022. The war in Ukraine could not have come at a worse time for the global economy. Already, global efforts towards economic recovery from the devastation wreaked by the coronavirus pandemic were being disturbed by supply chain disruptions, surging inflation, and uncertainties in the financial markets with anticipated hikes in interest rates. After February 24, we saw a sharp hike in global oil prices, food prices shocks, especially wheat, oil and gas price hikes, capital risk aversion, flight to safety by 75.3% from $74.17 in December 2021, when the 2022 budget was passed, to $130 on 7th March 2022, before moderating to $115 as of today.
The minister made us know that the crude oil prices have crossed the $100 mark since September 2014.
Two, these times call for very efficient use of energy resources. In line with this, there will be a 50% cut in fuel coupon allocations for all political appointees and heads of government institutions, including SOEs, effective 1st February 2022. With immediate effect, government has imposed a complete moratorium on the purchase of imported vehicles for the rest of the year. This will affect all new orders, especially for wheel drives. It will ensure that the overall effect is to reduce total vehicle purchases by the public sector by at least 50% for the period. Again, with immediate effect, government has imposed a moratorium on all foreign travels except pre-approved critical statutory travels. 5, government will conclude on ongoing measures to eliminate ghost workers from the government payroll by end December 2022. Government will conclude the renegotiations of the energy sector IPP's capacity charges by end of quarter 3 2022 to further reduce excess capacity payments by 20% to generate a total savings of 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. We will impose a moratorium on establishment of new public sector institutions by end of April 2022. Prioritize ongoing public projects over new projects. This is to enhance the efficient use of limited public funds over the period by finishing ongoing or stalled but approved projects. Reduce expenditure on all meetings and conferences by 50% effective immediately. Pursue a comprehensive reprofiling strategies to reduce the interest expense burden on the fiscal, and liaise with organized labor and employers association to implement with immediate effect the measures captured in the Crowd Declaration of the 2022 National Labour Conference, including reforms towards addressing salary inequities, inequalities, example, Article 71, office holders. The whip proceeds from this crude oil investments. In 2021, for example, we exported $3.947 billion of crude, of which Ghana's portion was $513 million. However, we $119 of crude and finished products. So the purported windfall gain in foreign exchange is quite a mirage. From January to date, the average export price of diesel and petrol have increased by 57% and 45% respectively. Unlike in other countries where the hike in crude oil prices and exchange rate volatility are leading to shortages in supply of petroleum products, government is implementing measures to guarantee constant supply of petroleum products. To mitigate the impact of the rising price of petroleum products at the pump for the next 3 months, government has decided to reduce margins in petroleum price build-up by a total of 15 pesos per litre with effect from 1st April. The details are as follows: Boss margin reduced by 2 pesos per litre, Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund margin reduced by 9 pesos per litre, fuel margin reduced by 1 peso per litre, primary distribution margin reduced by 3 pesos.
We are pleading with government that measures that are put in place will be strictly adhered to so that it will near to the good of the populace, especially price hikes as far as commodities are concerned are very alarming. The earlier things are regulated, the better. I will therefore plead with all of us, especially Ghanaians in general, to heighten our capacity so that we will take our destiny into our own hands. We will all strive to increase the yield of whatever we do for this country. We will help minimize importation. Then we will do our best to raise the flag of Ghana high in all we do. Let us strive to do all in our capacity to help build Mother Ghana. Together we build, together we succeed. Also calling on God to help our nation in whatever way possible.
And the USTART programs to improve our ability to locally produce more goods and optimize the opportunities AFCFTA offers us. It is important that as a country, we reduce our dependence on imports and increase local production. Public institutions are reminded of government's policy to buy locally produced goods. It is critical that Ghanaians reconsider their preference and consume more locally produced goods to support the economy and guarantee decent jobs for our people. Ladies and gentlemen, your government, the Akufo-Addo administration, is determined to turn things around and has the skills, discipline, and compassion to do so. But to do so, we must not allow our fortunes to be misdirected by speculators and naysayers, those who only thrive when we allow avoidable uncertainties to hold sway in the affairs of the nation. I pray that peace be within the walls of Parliament and sobriety within its towers as we go back to Parliament to introduce our revenue bills. Ladies and gentlemen, these measures outlined today will significantly improve the macro-fiscal situation towards a restoration of confidence and safeguard the achievement of the 2022 budget deficit target of 7.4% of the GDP. These measures have been carefully designed to ensure that growth and spending on social protection are, however, not compromise. Ladies and gentlemen, these are truly challenging times globally. No country has been spared. Government therefore calls on all Ghanaians to stand together. Together we shall surely overcome. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Ghana, we can do it together. This is not the first time an MPP government working together with the people of Ghana has succeeded in overcoming an economic challenge of this nature. We have demonstrated time and time again our ability to overcome with you. First, in 2001, the MPP government, led by former President Kufuor, together with the people of Ghana, brought the country out of severe economic difficulties.
May we uphold the dictates of the nation so that always we have the nation building in our hearts. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Many thanks for watching me. These measures